Here's how you turn this sweet potato into some delicious gnocchi, even if you've never made gnocchi before. We've given her a wash. Normally, I show my love with hugs. Today, I'm going to show it with a forking good time. Stab her 5 to 6 times. This is to let the steam out while she's baking. We're setting the oven to 400 degrees. After about an hour, on the sides here, it's soft, like a marshmallow. Here in the middle, I can feel a little bit of resistance. I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes. The reason is I want it to be as soft and fluffy as possible. If it's still got some resistance in it, when I chew it later, it will feel kind of grainy. We don't love that.
Yes, she's ready.
Let her chill for a sec. She's been through some shit. Now that it's roasted, I can actually just peel the skin right off. If you boil it, you actually get more moisture in there, which then you kind of have to compensate with the flour. For every 500 grams of sweet potato, which is roughly 2 cups, you're gonna add 1.5 cups of flour. For every 1/4 cup of flour, I give it 5 to 10 stirs. Add a 1/4 teaspoon salt, add 1 egg. It helps keep everything stuck together. That way, when we put our little gnocchi dumplings in the water, they don't immediately fall apart. This is why you also want to make sure that your sweet potato is cooled off. Otherwise, you're going to cook your egg. Too wet to mold. So I'm going to keep adding a 1/4 cup of flour at a time. This is the texture I'm looking for. I want it to hold its shape, and if I poke it with my finger, I don't want it to necessarily stick to me. The reason is that we're going to want to roll this, so we don't want it to stick to whatever we're rolling, but we also don't want to be so dry that it tastes just like flour. Hit your surface with some kitchen lube. Split this in half. Do high 10 and then go spear fingers. Roll that back and forth. From the side, that means I'm going like this. The motion also tends to be out. That helps to spread the dough this way. The thickness should be your thumb. Whatever size thumb you have, that's the right one to use. Get yourself probably 2 pans or 1 big one. Hit them with some kitchen lube. Now that they're all lined up, I'm gonna cut them to be roughly 1 inch long. This makes it a lot easier to keep everything consistent, just so that they cook at the same time. Bring back the fork. Flip over the fork. You're gonna put a gnocchi on there and you're gonna push down like that. Now it has ridges. If that's not your jam, the other thing you can do is just press a little dimple in there with your finger. Cute. Here's the other version, more of a rustic look. Start boiling some water. I'm adding a big pinch of salt. You can totally freeze these in a bag. What I like to do is dry them out for 20 or 30 minutes and then put a big pinch of flour in here, and I use smaller bags so that I can do 1 serving per bag. If you do this and they slide back and forth, that means you put enough flour on here. We got ourselves a good boil going. Take a spatula, slide it underneath my little gnocchi friends, and then set them into the water. Give them a little light stir so they don't stick to the bottom. Now you can see them rising to the top. That means they're ready. Now I take my slotted spoon, scoop out the gnocchi, give it a little jiggle to get rid of the excess water, and I like to put it straight into the bowl. You can either pre-melt some butter or put some butter right over the top of the gnocchi and the heat will melt it. This is a perfect time to add Parmesan. I don't have any, so I'm gonna put a little pinch of salt. Good job, you just made some gnocchi.